In 1996, legendary film actor and producer Kirk Douglas suffered a stroke that greatly affected his speech.
He was very frightened. He was very depressed. He was very concerned about his future. Finally, he just made some decisions, and I think part of those decisions were I can still write books. He's written 2 books since his stroke, My Stroke of Luck and Let's Face It, both of which talk about, number one, speech therapy and the importance it has had in his recovery, and secondly, talks about how he has gone forward after his stroke and the things that he has done. He inspires people tremendously that way. And then also, he was in a movie called Diamonds, and he did a great job. And he talked about speech pathology services in Diamonds. He showed the kind of exercises that he was doing. He was very, very complimentary about speech pathologists and what they had done for him.
Since his stroke, Mr. Douglas has also made great contributions to his community, including building playgrounds and working at the Ann Douglas Center.
They have just completed 400 playgrounds for the city of Los Angeles. This was over a decade, and they never missed a dedication. They always went to every dedication of these playgrounds. And Kirk spoke, of course, at the playgrounds. Thanksgiving is really wonderful because Ann and Kirk Douglas come down to the Los Angeles Mission and they serve dinner. And they serve dinner to the students of the Los Angeles Mission Ann Douglas Center. And these are individuals that are there in the program. And then also being served are people from the street, people who live in the area. We call them our neighbors and our friends. And it's just a luscious time of giving. And the Douglases, both of them, are very much on the front line of this work. Kirk always says that when he had his stroke, he thought it was God's way of telling him to be quiet, but it didn't work.
Thank you. That wouldn't shut up. You know, it's interesting when you have had a stroke. You see, all you people, you take speech for granted. You think of something and you say it. When you have a stroke, you realize there's lots of muscles that you never knew about. And you have to make sure those muscles work in order to say something. So what you took for granted is very hard. You know, lots of times when I am out in the evening in a restaurant and I think of something I think is witty to say, then I say, oh, the hell with it. It's too much effort to formulate all the words. And that's why speech therapists have been so helpful for me, especially Madam McMickey. She has, because when you have a stroke, not only is your voice affected, but your attitude. You want to give up, and you have to have someone always stimulating you and making you work. And that's where a good speech therapist comes in. And Betty McMickey has been a wonderful speech therapist for me, and I want you to meet her. Betty, come on and say hello. You was on that side. Can I sit down now? I have to stand there. Listen, I have 2 new knees, a pacemaker, with a stroke, of course, I had an operation on my side. I think God is pissed off at me.
This is a remarkable man. This is a man that I am privileged to help.
Wow.
This is a man that has inspired all of us through his books and his films. His wonderful book, My Stroke of Luck, and his book, Let's Face It, that we use here at the university. But you've just been a real inspiration to a lot of people, including me.
Really?
Yes. Do you know that I write more poems now than I ever wrote before?
Yes, she writes wonderful poetry. She has even inspired me to write a poem. But her poems are really inspiring. And they have helped me a lot. Yes, you have helped me a lot.
And you have helped me a lot to write better poetry. So not only do I write poetry for Mr. Douglas to help with our speech therapy. It's kind of a way of us practicing. But it's also a way of getting a laugh out of you. So we kind of write about just almost anything, right?
But you know, working on your speech is very degrading. You know, you feel like an infant learning to speak again, really. But the thing is, you can't give up. And that's what the thing you have to keep fighting against. You know, Betty encouraged me because I saw, listen, a guy in his 90s has had a stroke, he has impaired speech. What should he do? Do a one-man show. And I did it. And I thought I was so proud of myself, and I performed it the first time at my theater, the Kirk Douglas Theater, and was very successful. And I thought, I will now go back to Broadway with my one-man show. I did 4 performances. That's all I could do. So I never went to Broadway, but they made a DVD out of my one-man show, and I gave it to the Motion Picture and Television Fund. That's a home for old actors and people who work in the entertainment industry. I think it's coming out in a month or so.
Yes.
So be sure to buy it.
Absolutely. I went to the preview of it, and I have to say, cried through half of it. It's not sad, but I was so proud of him, I couldn't stand it. And I'm so proud of the fact that all the profits from this DVD go to the Motion Picture and Television
Yes.
Fund, as did the profits from Before I Forget, from the theater performance. And you were amazing.
I was. I amazed myself.
Well, you certainly amazed me a lot. I want to know how you got down here today. Was there something special about that truck I drive?
You know, Betty drives a truck. You won't believe it. She had in the back of her truck, there's about 300-pound horse manure. Yes. I said, Betty, what? She said, well, with that, the balance of the truck drives like a Cadillac.
So I wanted it to be nice and smooth for him, but also you have a little history with horse manure, don't you?
Oh, you know, in my first book, To Rock My Son, I talked about my father had a horse and we always set them horse manure in a big bin. And in winter time, to isolate a house, we had the trench around the house, and we put all the horse manure in the trench, and really it helped keep the house warm. And then in the spring, we took that dried horse manure and we would fertilize a white lilac tree that grew in the front yard. So horse manure is something that I know very well. And when I first went to college at St. Lawrence University, and your president is a graduate of St. Lawrence University, I talked to him. I hitchhiked to St. Lawrence, which on the Canadian border, and the last ride I was on top of a truckload of fertilizer. So I know horse manure very well. Go ahead.
So I wanted him to feel very much at home, and I also wanted my truck to ride like a Cadillac. And it did, right?
Yes.
Yes. And we just finished having a lovely lunch in the truck with the horse manure in the back. When you had your stroke, how did you know? What was happening to you?
You know, it was so embarrassing because I was having a manicure because my wife insisted on trying to beautify these peasants' hands. And when I would have the manicure, I would talk to Sophie, and suddenly I couldn't talk. And the manicures knew what had happened before I did. And she called my wife, who was playing cards with Barbara Sinatra. She came home and called the doctor, and he said, don't waste time rushing to the hospital because the ambulance would take too long. And I think that saved me in many ways, because my wife took me quickly to the hospital, and they took care of me. But that was the beginning. You know, one good thing about a stroke is it makes you a better person, because you don't take so many things for granted. And it makes you aware of other people's problems. And I think in that way, my stroke, that was the title of one of my books, My Stroke of Luck. It changes your attitude. Michael, my son, said, you know, Dad, I think since your stroke, you are a better person. Hey, I said, well, what was I before the stroke?
Your wife, I know, helped you a great deal after the stroke. How'd she help you?
My wife's way to help me is great and direct. When I feel sorry for myself and I just stay in the bed, she said, get your ass out of bed and start working on the speech therapy. And that helps.
And then wasn't there a time when you wanted to have breakfast in bed, wasn't it?
Oh, I said, honey, self-pity. That's something you have to fight against when you have a stroke. And once I was lying in bed, I said, honey, I think I would like to have breakfast in bed. My wife said, breakfast in bed? sleep in the kitchen. She helped a lot.
And continues to, very much so. Tell me about your family and where you grew up.
Well,
Yes.
I was the only son. I had 6 sisters, 3 older, 3 younger. And I said, that's why I know so much about women. But it's not true. Women are a constant mystery in life. And the excitement is trying to get the key to that mystery. You just keep, but my sisters were wonderful. You're bored? Okay.
Oh, well, let me move the flowers.
I thought I was losing my audience.
Here.
But my sisters
Is that okay?
were wonderful because I was the only one that got to college. And they could have said, hey, you're the only man in the family. Why don't you stay home and help? No, they're anxious for me to work my way through college. And for that, I'm eternally grateful for my sisters. They really helped me a lot.
And what about your dad?
My dad, my God. My dad, you know, my parents came from Russia. They didn't speak English. I saw my mother, how to write her name, Bryna, B-R-Y-N-A, and I used that for the name of my production company, Bryna Production. And, you know, they never had a chance. They never went to school. And my parents made me realize what this country is. You have a chance. And that's all you should want in life, is a chance. The opportunity to better yourself, to find a job, you know, to do something in life. Because my mother and father went all the way from Mogila, Cubania in Russia to come to this land to give us a chance to do something for their life. So that's why I have such an appreciation for our country. There's no other country like it. And all my life, especially as I get older, I appreciate what I have been able to do because of what our country represents. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It certainly does. And I might add that you and your wife have done so much for the country and have given back in so many ways that I just benefit from and appreciate all the time. Particularly because I'm a volunteer at the Ann Douglas Center, the LA Mission in downtown Los Angeles, along with about 40 of our students in communicative disorders. And we'll be showing you a little videotape in a few minutes about that. But we have really appreciated what the Douglases have given back.
Betty, by the way, I see someone looking with admiration at my shoes. I want to tell you, after 90, you waste your second childhood. So you can dare to wear shoes like that. Okay.
When we were coming out of the house, I said, oh, snazzy shoes, Kirk. And he said, yeah. He says, I really want to be hip today. So you definitely are. Definitely are. There was a story about you sitting at a table when you were a boy with your family and your father.
Yes, you know,
Yes.
my father was a tough guy, and he wasn't home once. He was always at the saloon. As a matter of fact, when I took over the Alzheimer's unit at the multiplex fund, I called her Harris Haven. That's my father's name. Harris Haven. And people say, Kirk, Harris Haven sounds like a saloon. I said, my father would approve of that. He spent a lot of time in saloons. But one day, you confirmed, one night it was raining, my father couldn't get to the saloon, so we were all around the table with my 6 sisters. My mother gave us all some tea, and my father was on the other end of the table. He seemed so big and strong, and I was, I don't know, 12 years old. Suddenly I had an impulse. I took the spoon and dipped it in the tea and flung it right in his face. Whoa! He picked me up. Well, I'll tell you, that was a proud moment of my life. I felt like I was a man. I dared to face this danger and survive. But my father was a very straight man, never much at home. But then as I got older, I said, wait a minute. He has 7 kids. He had a tough time trying to make enough to bring food in the house. He had his problems that at my young age I wouldn't understand. But as you get older in life, you reflect what happened to you. Lots of understandings come back to you. And you understand things that you didn't understand when you were very young.
True, true. So wisdom seems to come, unfortunately, a little late sometimes. You have a wonderful, interesting wife, Anne. Where did you meet her?
I was doing a movie in Paris, Lac de Beau, Act of Love, and I was learning in French. And Anne at that time was doing PR for John Huston, who made the picture, and she went back with him to Hollywood when I started my movie in Paris. When she came back, the director he always wanted her to do the PR because my wife spoke 5 languages. She's pretty by car. And when she came over to visit the set, she met everybody, and then one of the assistants said, now I want to take you in the lion's den. So he took her to my dressing room where I met her, and I thought she was wonderful. And that night, I called her up. I said, my voice lowered. I said, are you busy tonight? She said, no. I said, well, I thought we might have a little supper the Tour d'Argent, a big, famous restaurant. And she said, no, I'm so tired, I think I make some eggs and go to bed. What the hell with her? I mean, what a turn down. But I persevered, and the big moment was when we went to a circus, a charity circus where all the actors in Paris played part in the circus. So when we came to sit down, they grabbed me there, l'acteur américain, with the blue jeans, and they made me participate. So my aunt sat down and they took me backstage to find out what I can do in the circus. And Anne was watching act of elephants. And as the elephants finished their act, I came on with a my tuxedo with a pooper scooper, and I was, will you believe it? That's when my wife fell in love with me. She thought I was so cute. But that's where it all happened.
And I remember you telling me that she knew 5 languages and she could say no in all 5 languages.
Yes. That's true.
That is absolutely true. And you mentioned how Anne has been such a big help after your stroke and kind of tough love and getting in there. What else does she do to help you?
You know, my wife is an amazing gal. That's better known to very well. And since I had my stroke, I'm surprised I'm called on often to make a speech. And when I have to say something that night, at home, I said, honey, I don't think I can talk tonight. She said, when you see the microphone, you will talk. And she is right. She has, you know, you're lucky when you have a partner that can help you and understand you. Because my wife knew when to be tough with me and when to be gentle. And that's more help than they will ever know. She's a good girl.
I'd say so. I'd say she's pretty amazing.
And she also, my wife, when she became a citizen, after she married me, she was so proud and she wanted to do something for the country. And she ran in the paper that all the school playground was decrepit, dangerous, made of wood, hard surfaces. She said, I'm going to change all that. I thought she was crazy. But he made me sell the best painting that we had, Picasso, Chagall, Miro. They make enough money to start her campaign. And after 10 years, she made 400 playgrounds in LA. And I was attending with her the inauguration of every playground, and I would cut the ribbon and go down the slide. Listen, after about 8-9 years, I said, honey, you better finish because I can't go down the slide.
And that's true. They never missed one dedication of 400 playgrounds, which is certainly something to be incredibly proud of. It was an enormous effort. And she had to come in your room early on Wednesdays and say, remember what she said to you?
No.
Get up, we're going to school.
I said, I'm so glad that program. Now she has another program. She has Betty knows it very well because he participates in the Ann Douglas Center for Homeless Women. My wife met a homeless woman that was living on boxes on the street. So she organized this homeless center of homeless women, and she has helped many women. I go down there sometimes to make a speech, but Betty, you know more about that than I do.
Well, I have really been taken in by the Ann Douglas Center, very much so. The Ann Douglas Center is the women's side of the LA Mission. And my grandfather was an unsuccessful client of the LA Mission in the 1940s and 1950s. And he finally ended up going out a window of the county hospital in the DTs and killed himself. So when I was a kid, my dad and I were always either putting my grandfather in the LA Mission or taking him out of the LA Mission. So it was very natural for me to want to participate, want to help. It was something that was in my heart. And I have had the help of my students, wonderful students that come down there. So if we could have that piece on the Ann Douglas Center, I wanted to show that.
I never forget that I was once very poor, didn't have enough to eat, and that's why I love to work with my wife on projects like the center playgrounds for selfish reasons, because it makes me feel good, help other people.
Sidney Sheldon always sort of joked with Kirk by saying, one day you'll find somebody that was poorer than you are or were. And Kirk said, show me. So Sidney called him up and said, I will show you. Come with me to the Los Angeles Mission on South Los Angeles Street. And Kirk took me along and we went. I, at the time, asked Reverend Holtzinger, who was in charge of the mission, do you have any women here? And he said, yeah, I think we have 2. I said, where do they live? And I saw all the bunk beds of all the men, and all of a sudden, I saw a white sheet and 2 bunk beds. He said, this is for the women. A white sheet is separating the women from the men. What happens otherwise? He said, we don't have the room. We are now trying to raise funds to build a new building.
I said, honey, what can I do to help? And she said, get a job, we need the money. After all, I had done 90 pictures, now I'm looking for a job.
They talked to my husband about it, and he talked to other friends. And the Los Angeles Mission was built, and they also had, thanks to my husband and a lot of other friends and a lot of good people, a facility for women that was right adjacent to the new mission on Winston Street, downtown in Los Angeles. You see, there are bigger women's mission in Los Angeles now, or bigger facilities, but not as nice as ours.
No, you wouldn't think a woman so feminine like my wife can be so tough. Get her a job, we need the money. Please.
But what you did in 1992, opening up this amazing, amazing mission, and the Ann Douglas Center side of it for women is just remarkable. So my students, my communication disordered students, students and communication disorders, I should say, whoops, they have the opportunity of seeing clients that they would never have been able to see, because the people that are in the mission, the people that are on the street, that are homeless individuals, have unique, extraordinary problems that we can help. We can identify and help, which really makes a big difference.
You know, I have learned doing something good for others is its own reward. It makes you feel good. It's almost a selfless act. But in doing something for others, you do a lot for yourself. And I try to cling to that belief, especially when I think of all that has happened to me, and how much worse it could have been, except for people like Betty, who really, as a speech therapist, not only is an expert at the technical aspects, but the human aspect of how to reach a person, how to stimulate their desire to help themselves. Without that, you can't do anything. And sometimes I get so mad at her, really. But she keeps me speaking, and apparently I'm surprised that people understand what I'm saying. That's a miracle to me.
Well, and as Kirk has said, I work from poetry. And in fact, the very first day that I saw you 3 years ago, you shared one of your poems with me. And I thought, aha, this is somebody that I can actually write poetry for, and maybe he won't throw me out. So.
But she used to write poetry also. Give me one.
Okay, you have to do it really well, though.
Huh?
Sit up straight, feet on the floor.
Oh, Jesus.
You can drive him crazy, right?
I should have mentioned this. Why do I consider speech practice like sitting on a mound or cactus? Why must the effort of moving my tongue be among something I don't want to do? It certainly is hard for me, but nothing worthwhile is easy. That reminds me of my mother. There's certainly no other relative getting a slather on the guilt. Now, would I say complicated words with an ear-to-ear smile, definitely moving all the while my stubborn articulation, practice seasonal standards of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, nimbly moving my jaw to the left and right in precise pronunciation. Sing a lusty lyric of Johnny Mercer, makes this romantic song charm and the bursar of all my performance fun. be dexterous in my elocution, nimble in syllable execution, precise round articulation, adept at interesting intonation, and when I start to grumble, I will never ever mumble. I have to rest for a week.
Yeah. And I usually know that our session is through when he puts his head on the table. So I can wear him out. No question about that. Kirk, Jesse Coyle, who has helped me so much at the mission, would like to come up.
How are you? Good to
And
see you.
Bella, come on up. And this is Bella.
Hello there, come here. Give me a hug. I always hug beautiful women.
Jesse and Bella just helped us recently at the Good Friday celebration down at the LA Mission, and we had a total, I think, and 10 of us were there. But we all made balloons, and I think Jesse's going to make something special for you. Is that true?
I am.
We gave out hundreds, literally, of characters, and we didn't go quite as in depth as Jesse's doing, but we made flowers.
We made flowers.
We made swords.
I made you a mermaid.
There was many mother down in Madagascar. She would kiss me, and in time that I would ask her. Then one evening, her flame of love blew me down and picked me up. She was, she saved me for a trout.
Is that the best?
So much for everything that you've done.
Yes.
It's given us so many opportunities, and we're going to keep coming back, and we love it.
While you're down off stage there, make him a sword. We got to take that home to Victoria. Okay, I got one more question for you.
You promise?
Movies. Yeah, no, one more question. Okay. You haven't always been interested in the movies, but from the time you were a little kid, right?
When I was in the kindergarten, I was in a play. I played a shoemaker, and my mother made me a black apron, and I said, I sang a song, I'm Takamba, the shoemaker. I worked hard all day, and I was pretty good. And it was the only time that my father surprised me. He came and stood in the back of the auditorium, and when I finished, he bought me an ice cream cone. And to me, that ice cream cone was my Oscar. And I've always remembered that. And I think that maybe what kept me going on to become an actor. But I want to end this by saying, I hope you will invite me back again, because I like coming here. I like the work that Betty does. I'm grateful how she has helped me, and I know how she has helped other people. And I leave you with one message. Help people. Try to help people who need help. It will make you so happy and give you so much satisfaction. And I want to thank you all for letting me babble, and I hope you understood what I was saying. Thank you very much.